I am annoyingly tempted to take some more loans and start more buildings going. I really, really, really shouldn't, though. Mutiny in Sucre. Several crew members of the Conquistadors expedition were captivated by the idyllic life in Sucre and decided to abandon the expedition. This was declared an act of mutiny by the Conquistador, and after a long hunt, the mutineers were captured. Should they be sent back to us and tried here, or should they be forgiven and allowed to return to the expedition as crew members after a bit of flogging? Lose military power, lose admin. Losing admin at this point wouldn't matter so much. Losing military, we're going to be able to tech up regardless. Flog them. Otherwise, we'd just be spending it on development. I played Sacagawea's husband in a play in elementary school. Interesting. See, we don't really learn much about Sacagawea here in England, because why would we? But having read up about that, it's really interesting. What's my rule for churches and workshops? What's the minimum income buffs? That's a very good question. 0.1. So if it's anything less than 0.1, I generally don't bother. If it's above 0.1, if it's above 0.2, it's like an immediate purchase. And if it's a 0.4, as the temple in Toledo was, I'm just like, why haven't I done this already? And anything under 250 for barracks. Anything under probably 100. Anything over 100 rather for docks. And then for the trade, it really depends where. So Cantabria being, I believe, a centre of trade is like another must build. Yeah, it is. Santiago is producing sugar. That's entirely reasonable. Jamaica getting sugar. Awesome. Lost in mind and space. We should have realised the Conquistador had no sense of orientation when the first 2 times he got lost. The first time he went to retrieve 2 of our pack horses and got lost for 16 days. If it hadn't been for some grapes and rabbits, we would have been starved. He later told us he thought he was behind the expedition and sped up to catch up with them. Then he got hungry, so he went downstream to look for the trading party. The expedition sent their best hunter to find him and were finally reunited with him. The second time, he explored one of the 3 forks in a river and disappeared for 3 days. Once again, the expedition sent the seasoned hunter to find him and told a tale of trying to backtrack the forks and following our tails. This made the crew decide that the Conquistador would not be left alone to discover more parts of the Chaka, but he still did not help. Only mere minutes later, he was gone again. Send the hunter out again, or leave him, he'll have to find us this time. Hostile movement speed doesn't really bother me. Send out the hunter again. And we are now losing innovativeness. That's because we can get the military attack. Do it. And now we need to make some decisions. So we're currently using Gallo-Glyke infantry, which I think is still a reasonable decision. So we don't necessarily need the morale resistance. So Landsknecht's not important. They have 2 pips in morale defense, which means you take less morale damage. We have the 15% bonus just for being Castile, so that's not important. So really the question here is between Condota and Gallo-Glyke. Condota have shock resist, which means they take less damage from 2 manpower, whereas the Gallo-Glyke do extra damage to morale, so we will break enemy morale more easily while doing the same amount of shock damage. We have a lot of manpower. We are a great power, so I think we'll take the reformed Gallo-Glyke and just continue down that path. Particularly because our professionalism is high. So it means we do even more shock damage, and because of our drill, we take less damage. So that just compounds even more nicely. Starting to think this war is a good showing of the sunk cost fallacy. Possibly the other reason why I'm not that bothered about giving up on the war is I have taxes raised, and I have free war taxes. So I am saving money on maintaining my army and just letting them drill by being in this war. It's not really costing me anything. Except for the fact that I have to keep building ships and stuff. Speaking of which, I should probably keep building ships and stuff. We're spending a lot of money on colonization, but that is entirely reasonable. Okay, you go and explore South Atlantic. That sounds good to me. Havana's now producing sugar. That's good. And we've explored the majority of the east coast of America. Can we reach any of it? We can reach the whole thing. We could take, like, Newfoundland and Greenland to stop England and France arriving. And possibly Denmark and Holland, too. In fact, I have every single age bonus except for the 3 thrones, which I could have had. I could have had every single age bonus. Oh, that's irritating. Regular Castile would have got this. If only Iberian Wedding. If only Aragon hadn't PU'd me. Let's go for the cavalry infantry ratio now. And yeah, I know El Dorado. Oh no, I can reach it now. But again, Treaty or Tortillas. I'm in a race. We'll probably go for El Dorado after this. Once these have grown. You finished, you finished, you finished. That's 3, 4. You're getting 80 a year. I'm getting 110 a year. So my colonies are growing faster than theirs. Okay, we should win this. Should. The Turks Islands have almost finished. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they're just waiting on Barney. And they're at 318. You're at 480. Alright, so Martinicia is probably the one that's going to be the slowest, but it does have the fastest grow rate, so faster, slowpokes. The natives of Killicas have not been exactly friendly into our expedition. The ones we met tried to steal our weapons during the night, and during the struggle 2 natives were killed. Our crew managed to flee over 100 miles in a day before they dared camp again. There are signs that the natives are after them once more, and they might find the strength to repeat the marathon march if encouraged. Okay. Fly, you fools. Sad thing is, only the English Channel can get all the trade from the New World. Yeah, I know they can get North America, we can't. Burgundian succession. Burgundy falls under a personal union with Brittany. That's actually an interesting outcome. Savoy is Austria's new rival. Milan's completely occupied by Venice. This is going to be a very strong Venice. Switzerland has announced Austria as a new rival. And this is a very weak Austria, which is why there's a very strong Venice. A reform has been revoked. As the result of a recent war, the Emperor has been forced to revoke the reform called for Reichsreform. They've lost their construction. That's the first one, isn't it? They have no reforms. This is a pathetic HRE. Who did they just lose to? I don't even know where Berg is. Where's Berg? That's not Berg. Come on. There. Oh, Berg's actually not an OPM anymore. What war would that have been? Probably not an internal HRE one. But then again, they have a massive truce at Goslar, Rothenburg, Dithmarschen, Memmingen, Nuremberg, Ulm, Trier, Hamburg, Bremen, Nevers, and Strasbourg. Which sounds like a coalition or possibly a trade league. Although none of those states are... Oh no, Hamburg is. As is possibly Bremen. Or else it was against Poland and Lithuania. No, that's unlikely. That's only a 3-year truce. Hamburg, are you... No, you're a free city. Bremen, free city. It's not a trade league. That was a coalition. Because Berg's grown so much, I think. They've stolen too much territory. Berg starts as a 3-province country with 3 provinces completely not connected. Ugh. Horrible. Come on, Dolkadir. Still because of the fierce negotiator. I mean, what we're waiting for now is basically like the Ottomans declare war on the Mamelukes. And peace out that way. And hell, if the Ottomans declare war on the Mamelukes, I will help the Ottomans. This is something I never thought I'd hear myself saying, but I will, because I want this war to end. I have stuff to do, I have people to see, places to go. Lands to conquer. We could build another building. We could get some of the... Oh, right, Sevilla and Rioja. Those are both manufactories. So yeah, we should definitely get a workshop there. Yeah, we really, really should. Do it. In fact, I need to invest in my economy. I really, really do need to invest in my economy. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to get the temple, those two. We can build one more. Let's get the Cantabria market. And then we'll work on repaying those. Church in Toledo is done. Because my income is nowhere near as good as I would like it to be. Can I ally the Ottomans? No, because I'm at war. Seen a lot more strong Venice and seen 2 Sicilies a couple of times, 1.3. Nice. Callinicus died. Wow, he was not around for a while, considering how long his predecessor was serving. Well, I guess we'll bring in another one. So this is going to be Two Dog Knight. And you are going to continue the search for the 7 cities. And just generally explorifying. Okay, we're starting to get some more galleys done. We can now also invest in some more galleys, which we definitely should do. What's their fleet at? 3 heavies, 10 galleys. Now, do the Mamelukes have any naval combat bonuses? This is something I probably should have checked earlier. No. Neither do we. Oops. Exploration is finished. Sounds like a bad idea. I want the admin power. We've had the Amazon event before. I would like to explore South Atlantic now, please. Yeah, that was Callinicus, not Callinus. Different person. Missionary in Arguin's almost done, then we can turn Arguin into a trade post. Alright, cool. Coffee and Martinica. That's fine by me. Menace from the Cape. After a rather turbulent beginning with the natives of the Cape, we finally managed to convince them of our good intentions. As we made landfall, 2 men, one old and one young, approached our ship. They were not interested in our gifts, and when a musket was fired over their heads to make them back away, it wounded the older man slightly. He ran to their huts and brought men who threw spears at our crew until they were chased off after 2 more rounds were fired. The adults fled into the woods, leaving their children behind. Some small trinkets and beads were left behind with the children as a gesture of friendship before the expedition members retreated to the ship. Make them understand we meant them no harm. Natives in the Cape lose to aggressiveness, or if they return, kill them. I mean, the Cape is a really nice province. But they already have no aggressiveness, so we'll add to aggressiveness. And I'm pretty good about garrisoning my provinces, so I don't think it's that much of a problem. The ability to state them is there even though both provinces are in the same trade company. Has this changed now where you can state your trade companies? I don't think so, no. I think it's one or the other, so we'll undo the trade company. Exploration mission finished. Good stuff. Merge you together, and we have enough for another 3 galleys. 1, 2, 3. So we're rebuilding our navies relatively quickly, and this time it's going to be a lot stronger. American East Coast Sea. However, we did lose a bunch of our transports during the previous engagement, so this is going to bring us up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 galleys, which is 1 more than they have, so we have 1 more heavy and 1 more galley. They are still going to have the morale advantage over us, though, because our Diplotech is still going up really slowly. Workshops and stuff is done, so that should help us increase our income. 6.5 ducats, that's good. Free trade policies are forcing our merchants to become more innovative. One of them in particular looks like a great man. This guy is 50% cheaper. Yeah, absolutely, we'll hire him. Frederic de Alarcon. 50% cheaper. Boom. And he's a Diplo guy. That's really good. Now, papacy. We are 25% likely to become the new papal controller. I don't want to invest any more of that stuff. We could forgive usury, which comes with the yearly inflation reduction, which we are kind of reliant on. So we're going to go ahead and do that, because we need to keep down the inflation from the loans and from the gold mines. Portugal's embraced colonialism. It should be spreading to us pretty quickly, though. I don't know why this sometimes breaks. There we go. That's what I want to see. Why am I not getting it? Relations with you are high. Does it not spread to adjacent? Port neighbouring province of colonialism. Nearby friendly province has colonialism. Next door has it. So why am I not getting it? Oh, because they don't actually have it. It's still spreading. So Portugal just embraced that really early. Okay. And Porto does, which is why they're getting it. Okay, that's fine. East Frisia tells us of the Protestant Reformation. Thoughts of disapproval against the Roman Catholic Church are spreading across Europe as a result of the increasing corruption of the monks and the clerics. Voices are raised, questioning the current principles and greed of the Church. A monk in Ostfriesland has for some time expressed deep concern and is now openly declaring his discontent with the Church, paving the way towards a reformation of the faith. Protestant is now enabled. Religion in Ostfriesland changes to Protestant. Ostfriesland will be the centre of Reformation. Profiteering in Avila. The citizens of Avila are grown tired of the local influence of the greedy Portuguese merchants, and they claim are using unfair advantages to outcompete the local businesses. They demand that we step in to limit their influence of the foreign traders, so we must protect our trade. Portugal dislikes us. Or competition's good for everyone. I'm going to have to say competition's good for everyone because I do not want Portugal disliking me right now. And Porto, you can start advancement efforts. And so it begins, and yeah, now the timer begins on the Age of Discovery ending. This was actually a very early Age of Reformation. That's a bit unfortunate. The longer we could have delayed that, the more we would have benefited from our +3 development in all new colonies. So that is unfortunate. How's the growth here coming? Wait, Turks is already done. Barney. Barney is the last one. 439. We're ahead! Martinica's ahead. Excellent. And that's even without a settler dedicated to it. And in fact, you know what would be really smart? Is if I recalled the settler from Santiago and put him in Martinique instead. because Santiago's already basically done. And this is going to speed up Martinique, so it pulls ahead of Barney. Accommodation with the natives in Santiago. Though there's been troubles in our relations with the native people of Santiago, we've managed to find an agreement with the ruling class of their tribe. This should lead to a massive reduction in violence and conflicts between the two peoples. We have broken bread with their leaders and jointly agreed to cease our conflict and move forwards as friends and allies. Santiago gets native colonial integration, which is a massive bonus to local settler increase. And we also get the assimilation of natives until 5 years, which is plus 40% assimilation and minus 20 uprising chance. That's huge. Sweet. Be even better if it was in Africa. Just because the numbers there are higher. 16 ships. And we can build another galley, another one tomorrow. As in, next year. Hungry Gamer died. Well, hopefully we can get a better admiral now. Especially because my naval tradition should be really, really good because of the constant exploring. Yeah, 77. We're going to have some amazing admirals available. And at that point, we should be able to demolish the Mamelukes at sea. Hopefully. Mutiny in Horaz. Keep flogging them. A new pope. Denmark's got it again. Really? All of the investment I made. Wasted. That's why I don't like the investment. That's why I almost never do it. Because you get nothing for it. Like, even if you've invested a whole bunch in trying to become the new pope, you get nothing in return for failing. Institution embracement cost minus 10%. Institution spread plus 25%. And cardinal spread institutions. That's somewhat good for me, but also kind of bad because it means that the institution will spread throughout Europe faster. Austria has announced Switzerland as a new rival. And we can build another galley. And I would very much like to. You keep exploring. Who are my rivals? Good question. Aragon and the Mamelukes. Huzzah! And power projection is going down. We're only about 5. No, we're 2.5 years away. Not enough rivals. Yeah, I do. It's not giving me any pop-up saying I don't. I better get a third rival. No, I can't, because I'm at war. So actually, yes, I don't have enough rivals, but there's nothing I can do about that. That's a bit of an unfair modifier. Slurfen coming in with a 6-month resubscription. Thank you very much for the resub there, Slurfen. Very much appreciate it. Have I found Viking Taco Land yet? I mean, we're working on the Treaty of Tortillas, so does that count? Trying to get the Caribbean. And let's see. Oh, Terenthiel. Sorry about that. I completely missed it. Thank you very much for the 4-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Very much appreciate the ongoing support there, and I hope you're learning a lot from this. Viva Shen. And then Jacob C, thank you very much for the follow. And Drago, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. And Rick Sanchez, thank you also. Welcome to the channel. Good to see so many of you here today. No third rival. Can't get one. I'm at war. And have been for the last... Well, since 1488. It's now 1507. We're trying to outdo France and England. Why is legitimately so low? Actually, I don't know. Because this ruler I'd expected to have high claim, but he didn't. The next one will. But basically, this guy's father declared independence from Aragon, because Aragon had a personal union over us. So I get why Mulgin's father had a low claim, but Mulgin's a rightful heir of the previous ruler. So I don't know why he's so bad. I'd expected Mulgin to be a strong claim, but he isn't. One of the previous expedition members, our explorer of all people, managed to get himself into a dreadfully embarrassing situation when he overestimated his own capability of handling the fruity liquor the natives of Mingyan brew. Disgusting details won't make it into this report, but he was sick as a pig for a long time. The natives thought it fun, laughing at his misery, but the rumours of this event reached the ears of the higher societies, who frown upon such behaviour. Fruity liquor? Make sure to bring some back. He has a weak claim because he cancelled an earlier. Oh, okay. Even though it doesn't say that's one of the effects here. Interesting. That is something I did not know. Santiago has grown by 100 people. That's going to complete it. To our surprise, many of the members of the Taino tribe have chosen to adopt our language and etiquette and have integrated themselves into the Santiago colony. Boom. Right, so in a bit of a weird shift in policy, we are not going to get a third colony going because I want to get these two colonies done as quickly as possible. Although actually Havana is more or less finished. Barney is up to 511 people. Martinique is at 579. If Barney gets like a plus 100 population modifier, then that's going to be bad for us. Although Martinica is now growing at what rate? 115 plus settler with a 38%. He's only got a 10%. Okay, yeah, we should be okay. In that case, we are going to withdraw Havana's settler. And we are instead going to put you into Zui. So we can get the center of trade there. And we are also going to grab the Santiago soldiers and move you to Zui. Because Havana is as good as finished. I'm somewhat surprised the Mamelukes haven't tried to land any troops. I guess they just don't feel confident landing troops in that way. Exploration ideas. That is a Diplotech. I want to catch up a bit on Diplo, so we're going to wait on that. Because I really need more naval morale. That's been where I've been failing a little. Whole bunch of things just ended. How are you feeling about things? Still got the negotiator in power. Now 59 years old. Meanwhile, the explorer's ready, so you go ahead and explorify the Atlantic South America. And we should recruit a new admiral before I forget. Also, wow, they're cheap. Oh, because we have Burkhas in the Admiralty now. Cool. We'll have between 6 and 15 pips. Ho ho. And this shall henceforth be known as Rixum. RKZM. That glorious Admiral Rixum. Who's pretty decent. Cool. Between 6 and 15, he got 6, 7, 8, 9. About halfway. 2-star. Alright, you have 10 galleys, we have 11. Once these ones are done, I'm going to call that good enough and we're going to attack again. We have discovered most of South America now. Probably need to ship them over to North America at some point.